atmosphere especially for a spring match. I thought it was a high quality event, so thank you to the Pentagon and the people of Sioux Falls. Thought our team played really well, and Iowa State is a nice team. The way they play pushed us, and just thought we handled it really well, especially the consistency of our team.
Great. With that, we'll open up for questions from the media.
It's just two different lineups too. I mean, we pleased to see the level of play not drop off 6-7.
Yeah, and that was the goal, and we gave our players a plan going into the day this morning, what we're going to do, and again, they handled it really well.
What are your initial thoughts on the free freshmen who came in and played?
They've been great in practices, and they've raised the level of our gym. They bring a really fun joy to the game, and it's great to see them, step up. And I thought they all three had some really good moments.
What stood out about the way Virginia just came out confident in that first set?
Yeah, just the fact she came out super confident, and she didn't play back row last year. She had some awesome swings from the back row, and getting her to be as confident as we can would be huge for this team.
Similar question about Skylar, again coming out with a ton of confidence and
Yeah, Skylar had an awesome match, and again, she hasn't played back row hardly at all in a game. I thought she held her own really well back there, so just to see her swing away, do great, and not let maybe some errors in the back row affect her front row, I thought that was a great step for her.
How do you coach that confidence? Is that something to practice them, or is that off the court? How do you build that confidence?
I think a lot of it is in the gym, giving these players as many opportunities as you can as a coach, and making sure they know that you trust them. And then, of course, the relationship building piece is really important. And just being here for a year, I think that's grown a lot, in 12 months that I've been here. So, I can coach them, I think, a little more appropriately. I know our player styles a little bit more. So I think that showed, especially for some of those players that didn't have that many opportunities last year.
Do you feel a noticeable difference just a year later in your second spring and how you are, coaching?
I don't think our players probably wouldn't say they notice much. Maybe no. I guess I just feel more comfortable now that I know them and can have conversations and push them a little bit more than maybe last year there was some hesitancy there.
Virginia didn't have the opportunity to play in the spring last year, obviously, because she didn't sign yet. How beneficial would you feel like that will be to jumpstart her for the regular season, having these matches under the belt?
Yeah, I think springs are so important, and in development and relationship building and confidence, and kind of setting the stage going into the fall, and you get all that training. You'd have a short break, and then our players kind of know what to do in the summer and how they want to go about open gyms. So the spring's always really important. It's also really fun. There's less pressure, and you really just focus on getting better each day and building relationships, and the team, building some team culture. Every team's different, so it's really good to get a head start on that starting in January with our entire team being here.
How excited were you for Bergen to have the night you did and cap it off with an ace and just play in front of this environment in her hometown?
Yeah, and it's always really special being in your hometown. I know the Sioux Falls people, they travel to Nebraska frequently to watch us and watch her. But to do it in your hometown where there's a lot of pride, I think it's pretty special for her.
How would you describe how she felt about being here when she first heard that it was coming here, but also the team dinner with
Yeah, I think she was really fired up and just appreciative that we were going to do this. And her parents put on a team dinner, and it's always really important to me and to just the culture of our program that when we're in hometowns, if families want to be able to go to our players' houses or spend time with their families, I think that just helps get to know each other way better. So it was a nice night last night.
What do you feel you got out of your three younger middles today?
I thought they all did really well. You saw Kenna redshirted last year, didn't get to see her after really the alumni game. She did a great job. Kiani was a great blocker. Some of the things we see in practice, you just never know if they're going to execute in matches. So that was really impressive. And Manaya, she might not statistically had a great game, but she's as physical as ever, and I just think that that's going to be a battle in the middle.
What has Bergen meant to the program just in your first season plus now?
Yep. You can talk about her before I was here. She obviously is a 3-time All-American and setter of the year, and just the talent level that she brought in from her freshman year kind of changed the setter position. I don't know if there were any other freshman All-Americans, maybe one, in the last however many years. So for her to come in and do that so young was huge for the program overall. But just to me, she's been somebody I can really trust, and we have a lot of conversations, and you feel like she has a great pulse on the team, and to be able to have somebody that is really consistent with their demeanor and the way they play, and as a coach to put a lot of trust in them and know you're going to get truthful answers. I think that just really helps as a new coach coming into a program, and it just bleeds into the rest of the team. So for me personally, she's meant a great deal, and without the way she is, I don't think we'd be sitting here after having one loss in 2 years, a year and a half.
Earlier in the week, you talked about Christy, how you looked up to her, and you'd be looking forward to coaching against her today. What was that experience like for you?
It was good. I've always looked up to Christy as a coach, and when I was a young girl going to Husker games, watching her lead and reading about her, then watching her get into coaching. Iowa State has always been a great program. They were in the Elite Eight. I remember that. I just got to one of my first coaching jobs, and to see her in that position, and also doing great with Nebraska recruits and just building a program. It's somebody that, as a woman, you definitely look up to in the coaching world. It feels like there aren't that many women that stay in it. And, Christy's stayed in it and continued to build a successful program the right way, and just, really fun to be able to have a mentor like that.
How open would you be to scheduling more of these in regular season against Iowa State in the future?
Well, we're going to schedule as many games as we can, hopefully, in the future. I don't know if we'll be on the road as much, with when our gym is done, but hopefully we can schedule the best teams we can.
What do you think this gives? You guys travel to a lot of small towns, and what do you think this really gives your players to maybe just sort of see more fans from all over?
Yeah, one of the biggest surprises to me coming to Nebraska has been the fans on the road, and whether it's in the fall or the spring, it's pretty amazing to see the support that we have all over the country. And coming to a small town-ish, I wouldn't really call Sioux Falls a small town, but coming where everybody's appreciative that we're here, they're laying out the red carpet. I think it puts into perspective just where our program's at, and that we don't want to take that for granted, and we want to continue to sports bring people joy, so we want to continue to do that as much as we can around the country.
One more question for Coach.
Did anyone surprise you from what you see the practice gym, maybe step up their level of play in an actual match?
No, I think everybody did great. So I was expecting everybody to do really well.
Saw a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, and just happy that I could bring my team home, and got to have a little team dinner last night with my family, so that was fun. But yeah, I think the crowd showed out, and it was really fun, and we played really well too, so can't be mad about it.
See your sister's shirt out there?
I did, selling them at Shields.
How do you deal with this level of you still got a job to do about to perform to? Do you deal with the expectations, the pressure, the excitement? How do you kind of corral that to what you have to do on the court?
Just really leaning into my teammates. I think everyone knew that this was a special day for me, but I also know at the end of the day that it is a game, and kind of once the game starts, all that stuff goes away. So yeah, giving my teammates so that I can also help myself stay focused.
This was your first time playing indoor with the team. What was that like for you?
It was super fun. I mean, this has been a dream of mine for a really long time, so just getting to play with this group, and we had so much fun out there, and it went really well. So
What's been your mindset with just coming into this group and trying to find where you fit in? And
just work as hard as I can. I mean, everybody's good here, and so we all feed off of each other, and I think that's a really big thing. So just working as hard as I can, finding ways to score.
Staying around for the first 2 sets, I mean, how did you kind of stay loose and get ready for it? You actually got into the match.
Yeah, I mean, the bench was super energetic, so that was super fun. So we just hyped everybody up, and I mean, I think that kept us all pretty warm, so.
Virginia, what helped you get off to such a strong start in that first step?
I feel like I'm always a little bit stressed and anxious at the first game, and I feel like it has always been like that, and it always will. But as Bergen said, leaning to my teammates and trying to smile, which is what I've been working on, and keeping a positive energy. I feel like that's been helping me a lot, and then like with actual volleyball.
Do you feel more confident this year? I mean, you've been here for almost a year now. Is it just you feel more comfortable around your teammates in the game?
Yeah, definitely. It really helped. Now I do feel very confident and comfortable, and I mean, of course, the first season started a little bit rough, but by the end, I feel like that was I was able to show what I've been working on, and I feel like this game was really good, especially because it was the first game. So, as I said, I was a little bit stressed, but I think it went great. So,
Where's,
really proud.
where's the difference in your confidence? Is it just being in more rhythm, just when you're hitting? I guess what specifically is different in that?
I feel like, I know I keep repeating this, but staying positive, especially maybe when I do a mistake, not trying to not put my head down, but like keeping it up and trying to think to the next ball. I know it sounds really like basic, but it's really been helping me. It's something that I've tried to work on before coming here, but it wasn't really like a big focus, especially because just the way we play overseas, this is not a really big thing, if I'm explaining myself, but so yeah, trying to do that, it's really been helping me, especially in practice, and then putting this in the game.
Sky, where's
You had a really strong start too. Just where did that come from for you today?
I think it's just been the preparation that we've had a couple weeks now in indoor, and kind of getting used to being back indoor and being with my teammates again, and just playing 6-on-6 has been a good adjustment for us, and I think that's really set all of us up for success for today and getting us all prepped for the rest of our season.
you hit 8 kills in 9 swings too? I mean, where's your confidence level at right now?
It's high, yeah. I mean, it really helps with having teammates that help lift me up, especially if I'm having bad practice or throughout the last season and the seasons before that. Like, having a group of girls that really lift me up when I'm doing good and helps me build my confidence and have more confidence going out there to swing hard.
How much of a chip on your shoulder are you coming into this season? Just obviously the first 2 years may not have gone how you planned.
Yeah, definitely a chip on my shoulder. I think the last 2 years have been preparation for this year and the years to come. So definitely taking everything I've learned in the past and all the mentors I've had and using everything I've learned to my advantage.
Bergen, you've played here before. What was the atmosphere today like compared to what you've experienced in Pentagon?
Yeah, it was really cool. I don't know if I've ever played when it was like completely sold out, so it was really fun to have that atmosphere and get to experience that, and I'm glad that we could bring a little bit of a show to the people of Sioux Falls.
Bergen, has it set in that like this is the beginning of what's going to be your senior year, and that it is starting here, and just how far you've come this season? Have those things even set in for you yet?
Not at all, but it is cool that I can say that at least, even if it doesn't feel real in my head. But yeah, it feels just kind of like a full circle moment to be able to start off my senior year back in my hometown.
Bergen, we talked the other day about just the evolution of volleyball here back at your home. Was there anything that you kind of weren't expecting to feel seeing all the little girls out there with your merch and stuff on?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of see that everywhere we go, and there's definitely a lot of Bergen Riley shirts, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, Coach texted me yesterday, Coach Cook, and he said, when I was recruiting you, you said you wanted to put Sioux Falls on the map for volleyball. And I feel like this was another step in the right direction there, and just seeing how many people care, and I mean, sold out so quick. Like, I think that it's really going in the right direction, and it makes me really happy to see.
It'd be probably ridiculous, Bergen, to call this a nerve-wracking day for you, but I mean, it's a special and unique one. I mean, how would you describe coming up here, the team dinner last night, and then just knowing you're going to play with them in front of your hometown fans? And what was it like to bring them up here?
Yeah, it was a lot of emotions, I would say, definitely some nerves. I felt like everywhere I looked in the crowd, I saw someone I knew, which is not normal. So that was really cool. But yeah, like I said, I think just everyone knew that this was going to be special for me, and they did a really good job of making it feel that way, but then also locking in once the game started. So I think that Nebraska does a really good job of making this special thing special, and also continuing to do our job and win some games.
And for any of the rest of you, what was it like to come up here with her the last 24 hours or so? See what it was like for her. How excited was she, or did she talk about it much when she found that she was coming up?
Yeah, I think Bergen definitely was excited. I think that instilled in us to make sure we did our job on and off the court to make this a unique situation for Bergen and make sure it's special for her and to end up with a win.
Agreed.
Good.
That's a good question. What was it like to kind of finish out with the ace, and how exciting was that? And where did it kind of going through? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, aces always feel good. Been trying out a little bit of a new serve, so that was the first time I've done it in a game. I did it a few times before then, but it was cool to see that work out.
One more down here.
Virginia, you weren't here in the spring last year, obviously. How important for you is having these matches and just the last summer and everything to be around the team and get momentum into the season?
It definitely is very important, and I can see how it helps because, as you said, last season I came in right at the season and I didn't have any big preparation before that, so I feel like it's really helping. Also beach volleyball, it's like having something different to work on, but keeping the same goal, of course, keeping the same intentions in what we do, and yeah, it's been great.
Do you remember what you were doing this time last year?
This time I was done with my season. Yes, I was done. Yeah. It finished in March, if I remember. Yeah, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You know, what a great opportunity for our program and our team, and you know, thank you to Stanford Pentagon for having us. They were incredible hosts, and just a really great experience for us. It was our first match as well, so we're really just trying to gain information about where we're at and what we need to work on, what we're good at, where are we, and so I thought it was an excellent day for that. I thought we did some good things, and then it showed some things we need to work on. So overall, I was pleased with how we played, how hard we played. Obviously kind of lost it a little bit at some of the end of those sets, but you know, I think we played hard and played aggressive, and that's not always easy in this environment, but I think it was a good first match for us and told us a lot.
All right, with that, we'll open up for questions.
Amy Johnson-Lynch, Journal Star. What did you think about your team's fight there late in the fourth set? You could have packed it in, but how did it end?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, we were right there, you know, and we were competitive. We were taking aggressive swings. You know, I thought most of the night we were assertive, both in serving and passing, and a lot of the things that we did. So we'll go back and watch a little film. You know, what's the difference there? A couple things, but I thought generally we fought hard all night, even if the score got away from us a little bit. You know, there were times when it felt like we were too far behind to catch up, but I thought we fought.
For either one of the players, how was it playing in an atmosphere like this, even in the spring ball?
You know, I feel like this arena is really cool. Like, it doesn't like fit a ton of people, but I felt like I mean, obviously the Nebraska fans were really loud, and it was this really cool environment to play in. I mean, I've never been in an arena with Nebraska fans, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a privilege to be able to play here. Just like we are used to playing for our own fans and stuff, and we usually have a pretty good crowd. So like seeing that on the other end, especially from like Husker fans and stuff. So I feel like it was a privilege to be able to play here with like a really good team, and then also like really intense fans. And I think that's something that we need to work on, being able to play in that environment as well. So, yeah.
Christy, Lincoln Arneal, Husker match. I mean, you know, just unorthodox things. Morgan had to come back.
Yeah.
Sad for you too, but then across the net, Nebraska is using two completely different lineups.
Yep.
Are you jealous of the depth that they have?
I don't know if I'd say jealous, but you know, there's good and bad to that. You know, it's hard to get in rhythm when you're playing a lot of different people. So we don't have that problem. we don't have many people, you know, spare bodies. So they're fortunate to have all those incoming freshmen. You know, ours are not. We have one here, and they're not all here yet. So that's probably makes for a fun practice environment for them as well. They got a lot of people in the gym, and they're probably going at it pretty hard. So, yeah. But you know, when the good thing about not having spare bodies is it does allow us to get in a rhythm. Morgan again, kudos to Morgan. You know, she was a senior, ready, foot out the door, and hadn't even really been training with us. And we begged her and asked her to come back and play. And in this day and age, that's a pretty generous thing for her to do, give up a lot of her time and come and do this. So I just want to thank her again. She stepped up big time.
Coach, earlier in the week, Coach EBK said she grew up idolizing you, and it would be an honor to coach Minister. What are the thoughts on this?
I feel the same, not growing up idolizing her, obviously, because I'm a bit older, but always respected her so much as a player. Really respected and admired what she did building the program at Louisville. And I think I told someone this week, you know, when they announced her name for the Nebraska job, I thought, yep, that's the right call. That's such a great decision. So she's a phenomenal person, coach, and I'm really happy to see her doing what she's doing, and I think this is just the beginning of a lot of great things for her in the program.
How special is it for you to see former program alumni like leading their own programs? Not just you, not just her, but several others too.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing players get into coaching and doing really good things, and there's a lot of pressure to do what she's doing. I mean, I admire that. It's, you know, I'm sure you could understand how much pressure that is, especially when you're an alum and it's your own school and program. That is not an easy thing to take on, and I think she's doing it with such grace and, you know, doing a phenomenal job. And yeah, there's a lot of us out there now coaching, and it's really cool to see.
With that connection with Dani, how much of an opportunity do you think there is to bring this into the regular season down the road and play some more of these?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot this week. And, you know, when Nebraska left the conference, it was kind of like, well, we're not in a hurry to play them. We'll play them again sometime. But, you know, and we played them a little bit, but not, you know, we need to get back to that. So, you know, we're 3 hours away, maybe 3.5, but, you know, I think we'll travel well there. Well, I don't know, we'll get tickets, but, you know, we would love to play there, and we would love to have them back in Hilton. So I hope we can find a way to make that happen.
Pam, of course, talked about how this was a learning experience. What are you taking from this match that you're going to apply moving forward?
I would say it's more of a mental testament to our team. Like, we have some young people, and then this is just a group that I feel like, yes, we have a bit of like experience together, but like it's still a new system. So taking that with like comfortability and just learning to be like more mentally tough in these situations. So I think that's the biggest thing we're going to take away, and then just continuing to play hard, and like even when there's like mistakes and like things that might not be going right in the moment, like trying to turn that switch and like figuring out like what else can I do in that moment. So
yeah, I would agree with that. And like we have, you know, a new freshman that was in the middle, and she did an phenomenal job. And just playing in like that high competition, like it's just a really cool opportunity for us to get better and learn from that.
All right. With that, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
For being here. We appreciate you. And